Here we have a Pfaff sewing machine. This is going to be similar to the Viking sewing machines. Same procedure for cleaning the thread cutter, which is what we're doing today. First thing, we're going to remove the presser foot, then the bobbin cover plate. Then we're going to remove our needle plate screws. I have 2 of them on this machine. And we're going to remove our bobbin. The needle plate's going to lift up, and we have a little tip over here that has to fit underneath the edge of the needle plate. Now then, on this particular one, we don't have to remove the bobbin case, but I'm going to show you something on this. Your bobbin case, down on the bottom of the hook assembly, you have a little felt in there. That is not lint. That is an oil wick. So every once in a while, you need to put a drop of oil on that wick, and to make sure you use a lily white or clear oil so that it doesn't plug up the wick. So here we have our thread cutter assembly right over here. This little part right here is called a brush pile. It's fuzzy, and it is glued to this part, this metal part right here. So it's supposed to be there. Its purpose is to trap the thread tail so that on your first stitch after a thread cut that you will actually complete the stitch. So what you're going to need, you will find little bits of strings and threads and some fuzz and stuff like that in this area. You want to use your tweezers to remove it, and sometimes you'll need a little help with a pair of or a little straight safety or straight pin so that you can pick some of those threads out of the way and then remove them with your tweezers. So once you have that cleaned, be careful now. You're not going to bend anything, so don't get too carried away with it. And there again, do not grab the brush pile and remove it, because your thread cutter will not work. After a thread cut, you will not complete your first stitch, or second or third. So now we just have to put everything back in place in reverse order. So we put our bobbin back in our hook assembly. And it's important that if you look at the front edge of the feed dog and the front edge of this brush pile that's on your bobbin case, they should be parallel. So make sure that those are parallel. If it's in like that, this is not parallel with the front of this. Your machine will not work. And we are parallel. Then we're going to put on our needle plate. And be sure that you tuck the needle plate underneath the edge over here. It has a little lip that it has to fit onto. We're going to put our screws back in. And we're going to take our screwdriver, snug our screws. They just have to be snug. And we have these screws available, these little screwdrivers for sale. So they make it really nice for putting your needle plate screws in and out. Just nice and snug. Does not have to be Herculean tight. So now that we have our needle plate installed, we are now going to install our bobbin. So when you put your bobbin in, make sure to pull a little bit of thread. The bobbin should be turning counterclockwise. On all drop-in bobbin systems, the bobbin needs to turn counterclockwise if you pull a little bit of thread on it. So now we're going to pull our thread around and into our thread cutter. That leaves just enough tail for you to complete your first stitch. And put our bobbin cover plate on and our presser foot. And now then we are ready to sew again with a nice and clean thread cutter assembly.